Good morning. It is day 3 of boot camp. My name is Monica Perry. I'm your Market Center Tech Trainer in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and Chapel Hill Market Centers. And I'm so excited you're here with me today. We are going to be taking a look at our websites and our home search app today. So I hope you guys are really excited about this. Keep in mind, these are the first iteration of these websites, so they won't do anything except for get improved, which is going to be great. As usual, we have our Command Bootcamp Day 3 resources that I'll be dropping in the chat for you. You're going to be seeing me do a few of these things, referencing these buyer guides. These are just my buyer guides. Feel free to use them. Feel free to not use them. It's completely up to you. We've got something to chat. Good morning, Aunt. I hope you're doing good. All right, so we're going to be taking a look at what powers the information on our website and app first. Then we're going to take a look at the back end of our website, adding and editing pages and editing the consumer guides. Then we are going to start looking from the consumer's perspective on what this looks like, using our website for social media posts and ads, because tomorrow we're going to be looking at social posts and ads. So we're going to go through quite a bit of stuff, and then we're going to look in the consumer app as well. So everything that we talk about today is on this sheet. I'm going to go ahead and share this in the chat. There we go. All right. Let's take off. So from the command side of things, where we get into the back end of our website, we're going to log into agent.kw.com as usual. Don't forget about the white KW on the red background in the upper left corner. We can pop this out to see the names of the different applets we have over here on the left. And we are going to jump into consumer. And it's going to default us into this agent site pages tab. So at the top, you're going to see your agent website URL, okay? And below it is any pages that are set up, either pages that you've built and you don't have them active, or pages that are active. So you can see my top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are not active right now, but this site with the little eyeball is turned on. So let's jump in here. All of those pages exist right here. So this little drop down is what is showing all of these pages. Let me move my zoom bar, and then you can see I've got these turned on as well. So these other pages are just pages that I've built that I don't have turned on right now, so I'm actually going to delete some of those. But this is where you can come in and manage pages that are active, make any edits. You can see you have an edit button as well. Delete any extraneous pages that you don't want to use any longer, which is what I'm doing right now. It's just where I've made test pages for class, like so, okay? So if you are new and you did your Scott Lorry marketing questionnaire, Scott's team will have set up a handful of pages. You will have this main page, which is the most important page, because we all know that consumers want to come here and look for homes. So they have this nice big search bar here. You will have this default text, which I believe when you first have it set up, it says find your dream home. You can see I changed mine to my slogan, which is love where you live. I also changed my background photos, and I'm going to show you guys where you can do that as well. Down at the bottom, you have the ability to feature some listings. I'm going to show you guys that as well. And then we're branded and legal at the very bottom. You can see that I also have linked on my website, Working with Real Estate Agents brochure. And although they're little, I've given a little shout out to some of my favorite vendors down here. So this page will be set up just by default by Scott's team for you guys. You will also have a page that says this about me. So if you gave Scott's team a biography, it will be here. If not, there will be just a generic about section here. And I'm going to show you guys where you can edit this as well. You will also have a page that looks like this. Again, this will have some generic data in there. Sounds lovely. But if you want to come in and edit this, I will show you where to do that as well. And last but certainly not least, you will have a page that Scott's team set up that says download my KW app and gives people the ability to click on the button and it takes them to your app download page. We're going to let that load. And you can see that is also branded to you. They can click on the Apple Store or Google Play, and they have a nice little commercial here about what the app can do. And we'll look at that in the second half of the class when we're diving into the app. Okay. So any questions about the pages that should already be set up for you? Nothing in the chat. Good deal. Okay, great. So let's look first at our marketing profile. So yes, you come to this last applet on the left to get to consumer and add pages and edit pages. However, this information down here, so your KW Elite logo, this team logo, your picture, your phone number, your email address, your company's address and license number, your license number, all of these things are powered, and your connections to social are powered through your marketing profile. So let's take a look at how we get there. So from command, we're going to come into the upper right corner, click, and come down to settings. Once we get into our settings, we're going to come over to the left-hand side and go to our connect settings. So I'm just trying to go slow for anybody that's trying to follow along. We clicked up here, we went to settings, we came over to the left, we click connect settings, and then we go to our marketing profile. Okay. If you come back here and this button is not turned on, that means your site is currently not branding to you. So if somebody were to type your website in, it would take them to the main kw.com webpage that looks like this. You can see it's not branded to an agent. So you do want to make sure that this toggle is on. Just want to touch on that. This is where you can change out your headshot. If you get a new headshot, keep your headshots current. Y'all, I actually need to update mine because I think this one was from about 2019, I think. But before that, it was from 2008. So I'm doing better than I had been. If you're on a team, you can update your team logo here. If you're not on a team, you don't have to put anything there. Or some folks just put that square KW logo because that is a square placeholder. As you can see here, it is a squared off placeholder. Okay. Now here's your first name, last name. So if you get married, any of those kind of things, divorce, whatever, you need to change your name. You're going to do that here. Your license number. You can put whatever you want your team name to be. I'll show you where that shows up is right here on our website. And also right here, we're going to see that show up. So whatever you want that to say is what is going to go into the team name. It's not a required field. So if you don't want anything there, you don't have to put anything. Your professional job title, your slogan, and this is required. This was a recent addition, so if you don't have a slogan in there, you do need to enter one before you can click save. Don't worry, you can just put something generic like find your dream home, you know, whatever you want to put in there. And then you can add any designations, military affiliation. So I love this. I have a lot of family members that were in the military, and KW wants to make sure that we get to promote that about ourselves. So you can select if you're active duty, reserves, veterans, or a military spouse. And then once you make that selection, You will be able to choose your branch of service. And what that's going to do is give agents the ability, when we look at referrals on Friday, to search for agents that have a military affiliation. So as I said, Scott Leroy's team will have set up your pages for you, and they will have put a generic biography in here. So if you want to edit this out, this is where you do that, under your bio in your marketing profile. Okay. If you are a provisional broker, you need to have the office phone number under office phone. I am not, nor have I been for a long time. So I can market just my cell phone number. Okay. It's where we add emails and our website URL. Please note, guys, our websites do not use www. www is going to be getting phased out from the interwebs. It does not get put in front of our websites. So if you're going to put your website on your business card, do not put www in front of it, because if you do, watch what happens. www.monicaperry.kw.com. It's going to give you a security error. Okay. So do not put www in front of your website. Any questions on that? That's when I get quite a bit. Everybody good? Man, y'all are quiet. This is going to be a fun day. All right. So don't use www. Market Center Brokerage logo. So that is your Market Center's logo. My license is hung with the Keller Williams Realty Elite office in Winston-Salem. So that is the one that I need to have on my website. If you do not know where to go to get one, Scott's team will have put one in here if you're a new agent. If you would prefer it to be a different color, you can see where it's showing up right here and also down here on my website. I want to show you where you can go get the suite of logos. Is in the lovely kwconnect.com, a place I love to hang out a lot because there's a lot going on in here, places to learn, live classes, all that kind of fun stuff. You can also come up here to these resources. Okay, so once you're hovering over resources, we're going to slide down to marketing. And you'll see logos and branding right here. This is the identity and style guide from Keller Williams. So if you're going to get any custom signs made or things of that nature, it's pretty important to try to stay within brand guidelines. So go ahead and download this identity and style guide for yourself. Sign makers a lot of times will ask you if you have one. So that way you will have it on hand. Okay. I'm going to keep sliding down. Here are Market Center logos. Okay. So in order to find your suite of Market Center logos, you're going to type in your Market Center number. Okay. 994 for Winston-Salem, 509 for Greensboro, KW1, and 685 for KW United in Chapel Hill. Those are your Market Center numbers. That's what you type in here. And then you can download. It is a zip file, and it's got multiple colorways, transparent backgrounds, all black, all white, all the different things that you might want in a logo can be found here. So I just wanted to make sure that I let you know that. I personally used the one with no background because I didn't want that white box around it down here. So you can take a look and see what yours looks like and change it out if you see fit. So any questions on where to go get our logos? We good? Full deal. All right, so we want our Market Center brokerage name here, as well as our office phone number, the address of our office. If your office moved, make sure you come in and change your address. Mine moved recently, so I did have to come in and change my address. Okay. Under legal footer text, this is where I always like to put each office is independently owned and operated. Okay, that's showing up down here at the bottom. Each office is independently owned and operated. And I added the working with real estate agents as a form in North Carolina. The commission is created, da, 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 da. And where did I get this from? Pretty easy. I looked up working with real estate agents on Google. Okay. The first thing that you see is this, working with real estate agents. It says PDF. If you click on this, it opens the Working with Real Estate Agents brochure in PDF form. Boop. Okay. So all I did was copy this. I have been asked where I did this, and this is how. Okay. I gave a little blurb about what it is. And then right below, I used a legal footer link. I typed Working with Real Estate Agents brochure, click here, and then I pasted that website for the PDF right here. And that way, at the bottom of my website, people can just click and it will open up that PDF. Not something you have to do, but it's something that I did, and I've been asked how I did it. So that is how I did it. Any questions on that? Everybody good? Here's where I added logos of some of my favorite vendors. You don't have to do that. They show up pretty small down here. There's not a ton of customization in our websites yet. So something that we have to keep in mind with this entire platform is that when we built it 4 years ago, we wanted to be first, right? We wanted to be the first real estate company that owned our own technology suite, that was built by us, owned by us, that our data was protected. And so we went really wide, right? We tried to encompass everything. As I've discussed with you guys, this is a big system, and it's a big system intentionally. It's got a lot of apps. It's got a lot of bells and whistles. Each of the apps has a lot of pieces within that applet, right? So we went very wide, and now as we've progressed, we're going deeper. So things are getting more updates. We got the Command app. We're getting updates of things. Our websites are going to be on that list of things that is going to be updated. For right now, though, I always like to touch on this. If you like Google Analytics, you can put that in down here as well. And this is where your social media links go. And I showed you guys, those are down here at the bottom. And also if somebody drops down from here, boom, they're right there. So what I like to touch on with people at this point is that, yes, these websites are not super duper customizable at this point. I get it, right? So if you're looking for a website that is super customizable, you're welcome to do that. You're an independent contractor. If you want to pay someone to build a website for you instead of using this website, you can do that, right? And that's okay. Again, it's not my job to try to make you use what you have. It's just to show you that it exists and what you can do with it. So we do have a few things that we can customize. For instance, these background images, you know, our slogans, adding pages, things of that nature. However, if you, and this is really great because it's got lead capture, right? So if somebody comes and logs in and creates an account on my website, it's going to capture them as a lead back here in Command, okay? And I'm going to get a little notification up here that says I've got a new lead. I'm going to get a notification on the Command app that says I've got a new lead. I'm going to get an email that says I've got a new lead if somebody creates an account on my website, okay? It's going to add their contact information into Command. So if you like that functionality, but you want something more customizable, I will show you an example of somebody who did that. Give me 1 second. Don't forget, guys, if you can turn your cameras on and chat with me, that would be great. If you can't, I understand. Makes class a lot more fun when we participate with each other because somebody else might have the same question that you have. So this is one of our agents out of the Kernersville Market Center. They had somebody build this site for them, right? And so they wanted customization. They wanted all this stuff on here, and they wanted the higher search engine optimization capability that you get from having a website built by somebody. So this is what they chose to do, right? And they paid somebody to do it. And I think they pay to host it every month. And right here where it says, let's get you home, if you click search our listings, you're going to see that it then takes them back to their Keller Williams website so that Command can capture the leads. Okay. So you do have options here. I just wanted to make sure that you know that you can do this. Now, the other thing I get asked a lot is, well, I don't see myself enough on this page, right? I want my team's photos. I want myself on this page higher up. Okay. I get that. Okay. And remember, when you go to something that rhymes with pillow, which is the #1 search site, there's nobody up there. There's a search bar because that's what people want to do. When you go to realtor.com, the second most searched real estate website, there is a search bar, right? Just like ours, a search bar. And I get it if you're wanting to brand yourself that you might want your face up here higher. So I've got another example of that. Ashley Lay Real Estate. Miss Ashley in my Winston-Salem Market Center chose to switch out her background photos. That is not it. Give me 1 second. I went to the wrong one. Ashley Lay and Associates. Let me see if I can find the right one. It usually saves it. Ashley Lay and Associates. .pw.com. Bear with me, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's not coming up for me. Let me go into the generic one. Find an agent. Just type Ashley's name. Must have cleared out my cookies or something. Or Ashley changed out her website. But nonetheless, Ashley did used to have this background image on hers just set to her team so that you saw their picture. And instead of being like mine, it didn't scroll through a bunch of pictures. It just had the one stagnant picture there of her team. So you do have options there like that if that's something that you're looking to do. So just wanted to make sure that I made that clear to you guys. And again, this is the first iteration of these websites. They will get more improvements. They will get more customizations as we move along. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. All righty. So let's go back here into, now we've looked at our marketing profile. Remember, this is where you go to change phone numbers, headshots, all that kind of stuff. Let's move back into consumer. Okay. So the first place I want to take you guys is to site and app settings. Okay, so we know by default, it's going to bring us to the pages that are currently live on our website or the pages that we have built that we can add in here. But over here on the right, I want you to come to site and app settings first. Okay. So this is where we can change out that slogan that shows up. The agent site hero images that scroll through the background, you can have up to 5, right? The stock images are beautiful. I just so happen to have some of these photos of Winston-Salem. So I chose to use these. These do have to be super high resolution, so 1200 by 1200 pixels. You do have the ability in designs to go in and create some other images if you find some that you like better. Like Ashley's team did, you could just make it one photo and it could be of you or you and your partner or you and your team. Whatever speaks to you on your website, you can make that change here. Okay. Please disregard that registration area. That is coming soon. Download app landing page. So I took us there a few minutes ago. That's where that video of the app was. This also changes that text there. So I just put my slogan in there as well. If you have a virtual tour for your listing and your MLS doesn't accept virtual tours, then you can add it here so that it shows up on the Keller Williams website. Okay. If your MLS does accept virtual tours and you have it in the MLS, there is no need for you to come and add it here separately because it will already exist. It will have already syndicated to your agent website from your MLS. Okay. Under preferences, this is where you have the ability to turn on or off Keller Mortgage, to turn on or off Keller Covered, that's our insurance, and to turn on or off the neighborhood boundaries. So quickly, I want to show you guys where those exist, okay? So if I'm back on my website and I click here and I just am going to click my current location, okay? Give it a minute to load. All of those blue lines are neighborhood boundaries. So these are, interesting listing photo with somebody sitting on the front steps. Sorry, that just caught my attention over there. These are neighborhoods that are established by the program called Nextdoor. Is it a perfect system at this moment? No, it is not. No technology usually is. However, Nextdoor is working with KWRI to give us as agents the ability to come in and redraw some of these boundaries that may be wrong or add neighborhoods, because right now you can only add a neighborhood to Nextdoor if you live in that neighborhood. So if the neighborhood doesn't yet exist in Nextdoor, someone who lives in that neighborhood has to become the founder of the neighborhood in order to get those boundaries established. Okay, I live in the heart of the city, so you can see that I've got plenty of neighborhoods, no lack of blue boundaries around me. But as you get into more rural areas, you may see that. So if I zoom in to the map a little bit further, you're going to see I am in Old Sherwood Forest. The actual subdivision name is Sherwood Forest, but people that live here, I live in Old Sherwood Forest, the homes that were built in the 50s, 60s, and I think some 70s. And then over across the street, we have New Sherwood Forest, which is all the newer houses built from the 90s and up. So, you know, lovingly known as Old and New Sherwood Forest, technically the same subdivision. So that is how those neighborhood boundaries work, okay? Just so you guys are aware. What I do love about the neighborhoods is I can click on Old Sherwood Forest. This is one of my favorite features, okay? And see how it gives me over on the right-hand side a snapshot of the neighborhood. It's showing me what's listed in there, okay? And then I can also click on this Explore Neighborhood button, okay? So when I click on this, it's going to take me into this little about page about Sherwood Forest. You can take this link and say, hey, do you want to explore Old Sherwood Forest, and post it on Facebook with a beautiful design that you make that I can show you tomorrow. I love these little pages. They kind of show you the outlines of the neighborhood, give you some what locals say information. We're friendly. We love animals, into gardening. All that is true. We are very car dependent. It's not easy to walk up to a store from this neighborhood. Okay. A market snapshot. It's like 7 different web pages all in one spot about a neighborhood. So here's properties that are for sale, active, pending, and upcoming open houses. A little bit more on what locals say. Transit and commute times. So if somebody creates an account on your website, they get to add 3 addresses in to their account to know what the transit and commute times are to different places. So one was my previous office address, one is my brother's home in Huntersville, and one is my, well, I just was about to say my son's high school, but now my daughter will be there too. So one is my children's high school. So the distance from my house to there, or from this neighborhood to those places. I also get to see nearby schools. Okay. This is coming from a third-party source, so it is giving a disclaimer. And probably my favorite is down here. So we have a direct line to Yelp. We are the only real estate company that has a direct line to Yelp from our websites. So it gets to show you what most of our restaurants are that we visit, except we don't do Mr. Lou's. Sorry, Mr. Lou. But all these other ones we go to a lot. And you can see here's my neighborhood, and here are those restaurants on Yelp, right? You can also look at groceries, shopping, arts and entertainment, fitness, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, a little bit further, nearby neighborhoods, and then interested, let's talk. So I love these little neighborhood pages. So I wanted to show you that they existed. However, if you live in a more rural area, or if you for some reason don't like these neighborhood boundaries, this is where you can disable those and they will go away on your website. Any questions on that? Good? Cool deal. Okay, so let's backtrack here. Now, let's click on my location again. And I'm just going to click on this lovely home right down the street from me that also had a pool. Let this have a chance to do its loading. Some of this stuff closed. All right. So let me find a house that I want to click on. Okay. So let's say I'm interested in this home. When I scroll down, I'm going to see Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered. Okay. So this is where people can click to find out more about our mortgage company and our insurance company. So again, if you do not want these to display on your website, back here is where you can disable those. Does anybody have a question on those things? I always like to make sure that you know what you can do. All good? Okay. So next tab is our URLs. Okay, so this is my website URL, monicaperry.kw.com. Again, no www. Okay. My app URL. So if I want to post my app or share my app or text my app, this is my app code. So copy this, save it somewhere. I use it in, bear with me one sec, my email signature. For anyone that's ever gotten an email from me. And I just realized I forgot to turn on my vacation responder while we were in class. Oops. So if you get an email from me, this is my signature. And down here it says to download my home search app, click this phone. That is linked to that URL. Okay. So save that in your phone somewhere. Feel free to put it in your email, all that kind of fun stuff. The thing with these websites and what they're really meant for is for us to put it in the hands of the people that we know and get them set up with an account, because then we can track what they're doing, right? We can see what homes they're looking at, favoriting, not liking, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. So the value proposition about your people searching on your website as opposed to something that rhymes with pillow is what happens when somebody goes to something that rhymes with pillow. If they click on a house, they're going to get like 10 phone calls from different real estate agents and who knows who else, mortgage companies, all kinds of stuff, right? If they're looking on just our websites, they are direct line just to us. So that's always the value proposition that I offer people, to use my app and my website versus the ones that are out there. Okay. So again, these are not built for somebody to search Winston-Salem-Homes-for-Sale.com or Winston-Salem Homes for Sale on Google, and then your website shows up at the top. It's not going to happen, because these big companies, Winston-Salem Homes for Sale, Like these big companies have, everybody's paying for the ad space already, right? So the ads that are paid for are what show up first. And then when you get into the organic results, you're hitting realtor.com and Zillow, right? And the other ones. So, I mean, take it for what it's worth. I always intend to just put this in my people's hands, right? So any questions about that? You guys good? Cool. So featured listings. I'm going to borrow that same listing we were looking at yesterday, and I don't remember the address off the top of my head. Or if you have your own listing and you want me to show it, feel free to drop it in the chat and I will show that. But otherwise, I'm just going to go into Matrix and get my office active listings. And I'm going to use that cute house we were looking at yesterday. It was in that 350-ish range. I think this was it right here. Yes. Okay, so 213 Pallet Bluff. I don't have my own listings, obviously, because I don't sell houses anymore. But I wanted to show you guys how you could add a featured listing. So I'm going to go ahead and click Select Listings here. Right now it says only my listings, so I need to change that to all listings. If you are going to if you're going to put someone else's listings on your website, please ask them first, okay? Don't just do it without asking. But if you don't have your own listings and you want some showing up down there, you can 100% look that up, okay? So I'm going to select that and click Done. And now you can see that it's added it here. So I'm going to save the changes at the bottom. Or I could even change this to say Monica's featured listings, right? And then when I refresh my website and go back to my home screen, now that second house is showing up down here as a featured listing. Okay, so that's where you do that under the featured listings tab. Any questions on this? What happens when these listings go pending or closed? Do they automatically come off? No. So as you can see, that's a great question. As you can see, Donegal Drive in Clemens, this is what I did last month in boot camp. It is under contract already. It says it's pending in the corner. So at that point, I would just come in here and say, okay, I don't want to promote that one anymore and delete it. And then save the changes and it will go away. And oops, scrolling too fast. Now it's gone. Good question. All right. What else, guys? Any other questions on this? We're good? Okay, cool. So that's the featured listings tab. Theme will get expanded. For right now, it's pretty simple. Do you like red or do you like the black? And you just pick that. And it's just really a couple of little highlight spots on your website that's changing. I'm sure this will get more stuff in the future. And then last but certainly not least, remember we are in consumer, the last app on the left, and we are currently under the site and app settings tab. The last tab is agent site pages. So this is where you're adding pages. So once you create a page, you will get brought back to this point to add that page to your website. Okay. So you can see these are the same pages that are live here on my website. Okay. If I wanted to move them, maybe I want to move schedule an appointment to the bottom, and maybe I want to move my testimonials up here and, move stuff around, then I can definitely do that. Okay. And then click save and all that stuff will rearrange the way that I asked it to rearrange. Okay. So do we have any questions on the navigation that we've been through so far? Everybody feeling good? Are there any pages you recommend us having? I currently only have 4. Yes. So the ones that I recommend you having, especially if you've already had a transaction, is the leave me a review page, and then the agent testimonial display page. And I'm going to show you guys how to add those. Okay. So the leave me a review page looks like this. So when you're going to build these, and if you're taking notes on this, take this note. You want to build your review page first. And then you need to have at least one review before you can build the display page. Okay. And when I say build, it is not a hard thing to do. And of course, I'm always here for you guys if you need to have a one-on-one on how to do this. But the first step is that you create this, please leave me a review page. Now, you can send this link, right? I have this link also in my email address. It says, please review me as your Market Center Tech Trainer. Obviously, yours would say as your agent, right? So you can share the link. You could send it to somebody in a text, whatever, and they can enter the review. And if somebody left you a review on like Google or Facebook or anywhere else, all you have to do is take that review, if you want it to show up on your website, and enter their name and their last name and their address. You can just put the city if you want. It doesn't actually show anyway. And when are they a client since? How many stars did they give you on that other thing? And then copy what their review was and paste it here on your own website. And then you can publish that testimonial. Okay? Because you have to have at least one before you build the next page. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? So then once you have one, you can build the review page. And that looks like this. So I currently have that as a list view. There is also a rotating carousel view, okay, that you can use. You can display up to 12 reviews at any given time, okay? 12 reviews at any given time. So I've told you guys how important time blocking is to me because I do wear a lot of hats. One thing I time block for is every Friday afternoon at 3:30, like clockwork, I go in to my back end of my website to see if I have any new reviews, and I cycle through to make sure that I've always got it fresh. Okay. So that's what I've been doing for that. Now, I do have one more thing to show you. If you're getting reviews on lots of different platforms, bear with me. Gotta find this website. Mr. Bob showed me something cool one day. Bob pays a company called, I always forget, sorry, Real Satisfied. And I believe he said it's like $70 a year or something to that effect. And they take the reviews from everywhere that Bob is getting reviewed, and they put them all into one spot. Okay. And so then what we do is we add a page from a third-party website to this. If you guys want to see me do something like this today, I will show you. But again, you can always ask me to help you with any of this stuff on a one-on-one experience. I just wanted to show you guys what you can do. So this is taking reviews for Bob from lots of different spots. Okay. Good deal. All right. So any questions before I start to show you guys how to make this page? Okay. My quiet students. Okay. So in the upper right corner, we're going to click Create New Page. Okay. We get a choice on my agent site or as a landing page. Okay. A landing page we're going to look at next. We're going to make on my agent site and click Create Page. Okay. We're going to roll through the different things that you can do. Always make sure in the upper left that you rename the page so you know what it is. And this is going to be, okay. But I'm going to show you the testimonials capture page, but I also want to show you all the widgets that you have over here on the right. So there's a widget for your team. So if you're on a team and you want all of your folks to show up here, then you can use the team widget. If you're not on a team, you don't need it. Okay. So I'm going to delete it. We have this agent profile widget. It's the one that's your biography. So if you're doing something else and you want to drop this at the bottom, that is an option. Okay. We have the contact form that looks like this, contact us. Right? So again, if you're making something and you want to drop this at the bottom, you can. This is the testimonials carousel. So this one is going to be a scrolling, one testimonial shows at a time, and it rotates as opposed to mine, which is a list. This one is the testimonials list. You saw that in a live environment already. Then we have this company profile page. So I like the layout of this. This is this page right here. I chose to use mine to say, what is an MCTT? What is a Market Center Tech Trainer, right? And I explain what it is, and I explain what I do. And then I let people know that I'm still a licensed agent and I'm happy to help my clients of the past, present, and future buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And I'm also happy to help people grow their real estate career if it's something that they're looking into. So this is kind of how that page lays out. You can use this for any number of things that you want to write content about. Okay. So you can use this page for several different things. That's what that one looks like. And the testimonials capture form, which is what we're about to build. And then the download my app looks like this. Okay, we already saw that one. So those are the widgets that we have available. Down below that, we also have these content blocks. And so this is where we can add images and text. Again, these are not super customizable yet. So you're not going to be looking at like a GoDaddy experience here yet, right? If you want that, that's okay. You can go to GoDaddy and you can build one of those out. But that's not the experience you're going to get here quite yet. But if we do add a third party page, then you would use this text. And if we want to see it or have time to see it, we will. Anthony, your view looks different than mine. Yeah, you would click create new page up here in the upper right, Anthony. Create new page. And then we would choose on my agent site. That's what we're looking at right now. On my agent site. Not landing page. And then create. Hopefully that's, you should look like mine now.
Hey, Monica, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Hey, so when I'm on the agent sites page,
Okay.
it just says agent site page. Below is a KW default navigation. And then I have the four Keller Williams, one about me, download my free mobile search app, and contact us. But I don't have in the upper right-hand corner to add a page, but under the pages I have, it says add a page. And when I click it, it just says select page. At the top, there's a plus sign that says create new site. And then below it has 4 different tabs for the pages I already have.
And can you stick around after this for about 10 minutes so I can see your screen?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I want to take a look at that. Are you in Google Chrome?
Yes, I am.
All right. I definitely want to take a look at that then.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep. Fantastic. Thank you. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with this testimonials page, and hopefully yours looks like mine and not like Anthony's. So, but we'll look at his in a second, or I'll look at his at the end of class and see if I can figure out what's wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and create the page. Again, I'm going to rename it. I'm just going to say Command BootCamp June 2022 capture. So I know what it is. I'm going to grab this testimonials capture form and drag it to the left. And now the most important thing I need to do is in the lower right corner, click configure widgets. Okay. So I'm going to open up this testimonials capture. I'm going to put my team name at the top. If I'm not a team, I can just put Monica Perry Realtor or Monica Perry, right? Headline text, leave me a review, leave us a review, whatever you want to put there is fine. Now, the description is already written for you. If you're fine with it saying, thank you for being a valued client to help me improve, blah, 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 you can just leave it alone. You don't have to retype it. I personally was asking for reviews as a market center tech trainer and not an agent. So I did edit mine. So it's completely up to you. Again, with how would you rate your experience under review headline, it's already written for you. If you want it to say something different, then you can change it. And in the review placeholder text, that actually shows up inside of the review box, just giving them prompts of things that they might want to say. So it's geared towards an agent. So if you like it, just leave it. Okay. I'm going to click save and apply now. So now my page updated to reflect any changes that I made. Okay. Questions? We good? All right. So now that I saved and applied, that was my only widget. I don't have another one. So I'm going to click Save Changes. And then it's going to say, would you like to continue to site and app settings to publish your page? And I'm going to say yes. Okay. And again, this took me back to what we were looking at before, which was consumer site and app settings under agent site pages. These are my live pages. Okay. So now that I've created that page, I need to add it to my website. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to click Add Page. Here's this new one that I just made. I'm going to click Continue. I need to give that page a title. Okay. Obviously, yours would say, leave us a review or something to that effect. I just need to know what it is so that I can take it back down. Does that make sense? Everybody good? Cool. URL slug. So you know what a slug is down here. monicaperry.kw.com/. That is the slug. So slugs cannot have any spaces. You have to use dashes if you want a space. So maybe I want to say, leave us a review as my slug. Then I can. Under SEO, search engine optimization description, I usually just put, Monica Perry, Keller Williams, Realty Elite, my phone number, my email. That's usually kind of the stuff that I put down there. Okay. And then I'm going to click save, excuse me. And once I do, I'm going to go back up here to my website and refresh it. You're going to see that it added that page. So now I have a second testimonial capture, right? But that's how you add a page. Okay. So I'm going to remove this one. And now I'm going to show you, once you've got your capture page and you have at least one review, whether you sent the link to somebody and they left you a review, whether you took a review from another website and entered it into your own website so that it shows up on your agent website, then we have the ability to build the page that shows the testimonials. Okay. So same thing. I'm going to rename it. And we're going to grab either the list or the carousel. I'll show you the carousel since I did the list on my website. So I'm grabbing that testimonials carousel. Okay, I drug it over to the left. I'm going to click configure widgets. I'm going to open up testimonials. I'm going to give it a headline, what people are saying. whatever I want it to be. Okay. I can choose which client details I want to show. Right? Like I don't need neighborhood. And now I'm going to see a list of the testimonials that I have. Okay. So I'm going to select the ones that I want to display up to 12. Okay. I can display up to 12 at one time. Right? Just so you know, I'm going to show you where it will tell you that it can't bring any more. Ooh, I got some new ones. Yay. Let me grab another one. I'm trying to make it. All right. So I've got the ones that I want. I'm going to save and apply. And now you can see it's that carousel moving. So I'm going to save my changes. Yes, I want to publish. It's going to take me back here again. Okay, I'm going to click add page on the left, take my testimonials, click continue. Right? I'm going to do the same thing. Give it a title. That's what's going to show up in that drop-down menu. Give it a slug. I'm just going to call it testimonials. Okay. Give it SEO. Not going to take a super long amount of time to do that. I showed you guys what I usually type. I'm going to click save. It will have saved it. I'm going to hit refresh. Let me go back. I deleted that page. That's why I errored out on us there. All right. I'm going to drop down. And there's that most recent one. And there we go. I have my testimonials carousel. Okay. So that's how we can add those pages. So again, you're going to build a capture first. Then we're going to build our display page. Okay. Questions, comments, anything? Bueller? You guys are so quiet. I don't even know how old anybody is in here to know if you know what Bueller means or think it's funny. All right, good deal. So that is how we build agent site pages. There are several others that you can do. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, so I'm not going to build a third-party one because we have a lot of stuff, other stuff to look at, but I will show you one that I've previously built. So any third-party website that you want, including like Bob's testimonials that he had, things to do in Winston-Salem. If you're from Winston-Salem, you've probably heard of Smitty's Notes. He just has like a little website where he talks about restaurants and all that kind of stuff. So I've linked Smitty's Notes to my website as things to do in Winston-Salem because he's telling you about stuff that's coming up, restaurants that are opening, you know, concerts that are coming, farmers markets, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So you do have the ability to do this. If you want to learn more about that, just get with me in a one-on-one session and I will be happy to help you with that. Okay. All right. So let's look at landing pages because I do love the landing pages. Okay. So these get built very similarly, and I'm just going to open one that I have so you can see it. Okay. So this was just a generic one for Buena Vista, right? Yes, it's Buena Vista in Winston-Salem. Don't correct me. I know it's technically Buena Vista, but it's not when you live here. Okay. So there we go. Sold statistics, very simple, right? That's a very simple one. I also have shown people how to make one as an open house login sheet so that you can use your handy dandy tablet at the open house to let people sign in. Traditionally, this thing would be at the bottom and it would say like, for more information, put your information in below or whatever. I put it at the top and said, please sign in, because when you're at an open house and someone fills this in, it's going to capture their information automatically in command, which I love, right? So then I have the listing showing up so they can look at all the pictures. Please sign in and then feel free to take a look at the information on this listing. Okay, they can look at the pictures. So you can build different landing pages for different reasons. Okay, questions on that? Good. All right. So I'm going to click create new page again, but this time we're going to choose a landing page, and I'm going to show you guys the different widgets that you have for building a landing page. They're a little bit different than the ones that are on your agent site. Just remember, these are a standalone landing page. They are not attached to your website. I'm just going to show you all the different widgets that you have. You have one called agent branding. It looks like that. Okay. You have one called your branded header, which I like a lot. I use it on a lot of my landing pages. You have one called the lead form. We just saw it. Interested, let's talk, right? I changed mine to say, please sign in. We have the legal footer to keep us out of real estate jail. I always put it at the bottom. We have that long listing widget. How long that sucker is right there. Okay. We have a market snapshot. We saw that on that Buena Vista page. We have your local expert. I like this one. I think it looks really nice. So you've got that option. It's got your little bio there. Okay. You could drop a video into a landing page. Can't do it on our website, but we can do it on a landing page. Okay. We have the testimonial capture. So if you wanted a separate landing page for your testimonial, you could for the capture. And then again, we have the download my app, which we've already seen. And then we have those content blocks as well. Okay. So those are the ones that we have. So let's just build one out really quickly. One thing I really like when I'm building a standalone landing page is to make it a sandwich, because you saw like how long that listing is. And if I'm dropping multiple widgets over to the left and I'm having to find where the green line is that's showing me where I'm dropping it, it's easier for me to do this. So I usually go, my legal footer is going to be at the bottom. So I drop it first. My branded header is going to be at the top. So I drop it to the top. And then whatever stuff I want in the middle, I start dropping it in that order. So maybe I want people to download my app above that legal footer. And then I want a market snapshot of the listing I'm looking at above that. Then I want the actual listing above that. And then I wanted the lead form at the top, like I did for my open house sign-in sheet. So see, it made it a lot easier than me having to try to scroll to get down to the bottom to add things, right? So then I would just configure the widgets again. I usually say welcome home. If it's an open house sign-in sheet, you only have 30 characters. So you got to kind of keep it short and sweet. Everything else on here is fine. So I'm going to save and apply. And now I'm going to show you where you move through to your next widget is up here at the top. You're going to click the little arrow to move you to the next widget. And here I said, please sign in, right? Because I'm going to use it as an open house sign-in sheet. And then I'm going to click save and apply at the bottom. You're not sure how you would use landing pages and where your customers would find them. So one example is the sign-in sheet at an open house, Patrick, I'm sorry. And One example is you could build one out for just the listing specifically and post it on Facebook. Okay, check out my new listing. You can make a really pretty design and then have the link. Click the link for more information. They're in there looking at all the pictures and they're like, yes, I do want more information. And they fill out this contact form. It's going to capture their information in Command. Another example is when you're doing a Facebook ad, the paid kind. A lot of times, and we'll look at this tomorrow, I show you guys just to use the listing page on your website, which is great if you're just running one Facebook ad. Okay, if you're just running one Facebook ad at one time. But some of my larger teams that list like 20 houses a month, they want to run like 5 Facebook ads at one time. So what they actually do is they build a landing page for each listing and they use that in the Facebook ad follow-up part, which you'll learn more about tomorrow. And that way it kind of keeps everything separated. And I'll show you more about what that means. But unless you plan on running 5 Facebook ads, it's a moot point. But you can use them to show like a neighborhood snapshot, like here's what's happening in your neighborhood, right? Sherwood Forest, Buena Vista, whatever, wherever, what neighborhood. Okay, so you just put them in the hands of people. You can email them, you can text them, you can post them on Facebook. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so again, this example, we're using this as an open house sign-in sheet. So I'm going to save and apply the please sign in part. I'm going to move forward to my next widget. Now I'm going to browse my listings. Okay, again, I don't have listings, so I need to search for someone else's listing. If you are going to do that, please ask their permission. We do have some agents that say, yeah, heck yeah, market my listing on Facebook. I don't care. I want to get it sold, right? And that's great. Make sure you ask permission. Sue Schultz getting a shout out for 213 Pilot Bluff. I just think it's cute, so I'm going to use it again. So I've searched for it. I'm going to hit select on that listing. I can change which picture shows up first if I wanted to highlight a different one, or I could even upload a custom image if I so desired. And that's really the only thing that I would need to change for a listing. So I save and apply that. And you're going to see it update on my screen to be Sue's listing. All right. And so then next up, I have this neighborhood snapshot. So any of these, just the listing could be its own landing page. I'm just trying to show you guys several. I'm going to copy this Pilot Bluff. Actually, I'm going to copy this zip code 27021 Pilot Bluff. 27021 Pilot Bluff. So I'm going to go forward to the next one. And this is going to say what's happening. And what I usually do, if it's a smaller neighborhood, which if it's in King, it probably is a smaller neighborhood, I want to make sure I'm giving people a lot of statistics. So instead of just saying what's happening in Pilot Bluff, the neighborhood, I might say what's happening in, I already forgot that zip code, 27021. What's happening in 27021. And then I'm looking for 27021. I'm not going to select a neighborhood. I'm just going to leave it at the broad zip code level and click save. And it's going to pop some statistics down into there for me. Okay, I'm going to move forward to my next one. It's just download the app. I don't need to change anything on there. So I'm going to hit save and apply on that one. I'm going to move forward one more, and that's my legal footer. And I don't need to change anyone on that one. So I'm going to click save and apply on that and then publish. Okay. And I probably wouldn't have put download my app on an open house thing because they're going to be using my tablet and not be able to download my app. But I was just trying to show you guys as many of the widgets as I could. Okay. So now it's under my landing pages. There it is. I just built it. The one thing I can do, you can see how many leads are captured here. That's why people like to use separate ones when they're doing multiple Facebook ads at one time. Right. I can edit this and go back and change something, right? So say I wanted to go, I don't really want this, then I can click on it and delete it and then publish it back without that there. right? So you can always come back in and edit the page. Okay. I can also change the URL. What is that? 213 Pilot Bluff. So maybe I want this to be 213 Pilot Bluff, right? And create. So now it's got a little URL. I'm clicking on it. This is where it takes me. If I was going to publish this on Facebook, I would have moved this sign in piece to the bottom that said interested, please talk. But if I was going to use it at an open house, I would have it at the top and hand my tablet over and say, please sign in, and then feel free to take a look around the house, look at the pictures, ask me any questions, and then, you know, go take a tour. Okay. But all I have to do is copy this link and I can put it anywhere I want to put it. Good. Cool deal. And don't forget, guys, the only things you have to do in Command are what? Who remembers? Write it in the chat or unmute yourself and tell me. What are the only two things that we have to do in Command? Everything else is just for fun or for what we want to do, not necessarily for fun, but for building our business. Nobody remembers what we have to do in here. We talked about on Tuesday.
The opportunities tab would be one.
Yes. So opportunities tab and contacts, because in order to create an opportunity, you have to add a contact. So that's the only things that you have to do in here, right? All this other stuff, I hope you love it. I hope you want to use it. But if you don't want to use it, that's okay. You're an independent contractor and you don't have to, right? The only thing you have to do in here is add your contact so you can create your opportunity to get your paperwork checked and ask to get paid. Okay. And if you guys ever want to come back to boot camp, I do it every single month. I do it every single month, right? So if you're like, I'm not ready to explore websites this month, that's okay. You can come back next month, right? The reason I do it every month is because we're constantly getting new agents. We're constantly getting updates to Command, right? And some people just want to revisit stuff. I have people that come on Tuesday back to opportunities and DocuSign like every month, which is fine. I'm happy to see you guys, right? Okay, so we looked at adding a page to our agent website. We looked at building a landing page. I'm going to move into the guide builder really quickly. So the guide builder, I showed you guys briefly, right, on your website. It looks like this. I showed you it from the opportunities applet. I'm going to now show you from the eyes of a consumer. Okay. So this person is logged in. Let me sign out. Okay. So this person already has an account on my website, Sasha. Okay. So when she's logged in, right, this is looking at it through the eyes of the consumer, she has a guide. And she can say, okay, I'm buying a house or I'm selling a house, whichever one. And so if I'm selling, I'm going to click get started. All right, staging. We're going to talk about preparation. We're going to clean. We're going to paint. We're going to blah, 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 blah. Cool. We already did that. So I can mark this step as complete, right? I hear agents a lot, and I was one of those agents. My clients have to be able to get in touch with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have to. They need me, right? They don't. They want information. So this is just another way that you can put information in their hand is by having this guide, because they want to know what is next, right? So first, we're going to get your home stage. We did that. Cool. Next, we're going to start showing your home, and these are the things that are going to happen. These are the things that you want to make sure you do. Set the temperature, put out fresh towels, make sure to disable any recording devices. This piece right here, guess what? This website was built for the entire country and Canada. So they don't have any idea that in North Carolina, video monitoring is not permitted under North Carolina state law, right? Or it's actually the audio part of it. But I added that, right? Because that is important for me, for my clients to know. If I'm listing your house, you can't record people's conversations. Turn it off, right? So I added that. So I want to show you guys where you can edit these is right here. So again, we're in consumer, last app on the left, under the guide builder. Okay. This is the buyer's guide. So I'm going to open it up. This is my view of it. And I can start clicking into these things and editing them, right? I get this editing function, but see how small this is over on the side? I wasn't a fan, right? So what I did is I built Google Sheets because I love Google Sheets and I use them for everything. And there we go. So I've shared these with you guys in the chat, right? I'm going to reshare it for anybody who came in late. Share in the chat. You just click on the link. Yes, that was the consumer side that we were first looking at. So these are just my guides. You can edit them to have whatever you want, right? When you get into this and you open it up, all you need to do is come in the upper left and click file and make a copy of it. Then you have your own copy. I've put my notes in here. I added this step to my guide, this first get pre-approved step, because what was there was interesting. I think it was actually start searching for homes, and I don't search for homes with people unless they're pre-approved for mortgage. So I wanted that to not come until after they got pre-approved. But then all it was interested in Keller Mortgage, and it's a smart step. Like you can't edit it. It's just for them to click on Keller Mortgage, which I like Keller Mortgage. They saved us a bunch of money on refinancing this house and a home equity line that we had, which was great. And I've heard that they do good things for home buyers as well. And I have some local vendors that I work with a lot, like the people that helped me get the original mortgage on this house, right? So I added the step called get pre-approved. And I added these workspace details that have some of my favorite lenders in there. And then it says, or you can click next step and get to great savings with Keller Mortgage. It's exclusive to the clients of Keller Williams agents. And then I let it have the Keller Mortgage step. Okay. So that was just what I chose to do. I chose to come in here and edit them. Again, you don't have to do that, but I gave you the resources that I use to do it. It's one of those times where you turn on good music, get your favorite beverage, and you go in and copy and paste, because I don't feel like typing in this little teeny tiny box. I don't know about y'all. So I tried to take really good notes on my guides. Obviously, when you're editing it, you can put your own vendors in here if you want to add this step. So I've tried to, give you really good notes on what I was doing, and you can just copy all the text and paste it into the right box. Okay. Questions on that? I'm not going to go too deep into that. Good. Great. Okay. Collections, they're brand new. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around them and what a good use case for them is. But you can create a collection and it like comes up with a list of listings that fit a certain criteria in a certain area, and then you can share it with somebody. So I'm not prepared to give up MLS as a replace. I'm not ready to give up MLS and replace it with Command for when we're deep searching for houses, right? When we're actually looking at listings, I'm still going to go back to the MLS. Maybe it's just a comfort thing. And I know that the listings applet is supposed to get a bunch of updates. So at that point, maybe I'll change my tune. But I love for people to search for homes on my website, get interested, start clicking on stuff that they like. I'm seeing what they're doing, and that's what we're about to go in and look at. We're going to take a 5-minute break and come back. And then we're going to take a look at what it looks like when somebody interacts with our website. Okay, so you guys take 5 minutes, get a coffee, do whatever you need to do, and I'll see you back here in 5. pausing the recording. Okay, so I wanted to touch on a couple of things with you guys. We know that counting on other people to do things is not always the best thing to do. What we need is for our clients and the people that we know to have accounts with our website, okay? So that we can see what they're doing, right? And we can keep track of it, okay? Now, I love people and people aren't always, you know, the best at being accountable. So if I offer someone my app or I offer someone my website and I'm like, okay, you know, I want you to search on here. That way nobody else is going to contact you or see what you're doing except for me. I want to go ahead and set you up an account. Is that okay? Right? Could you have them do it themselves? Yes. And instead of doing that, do it for them. So what I usually do is I go to my own website and I click sign up. And I say, okay, this is going to be, man, I've used 5 million names now. Let me think of one I haven't used. Okay. And this is a fake person, y'all. I just come in here and I make them an account. And then I usually just use their cell phone number as their password. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Buyer, your login for my app or my website is your email address, and then your cell phone with no dashes, no spaces is your password. Feel free to change it once you get in, okay? So I'm going to click, I accept, and then I'm going to click sign up for my client, okay? And that created them an account, right? So now I don't have to worry about the fact that they have to remember to go create their own account. Now, what that just did, so if you share a listing or something on Facebook and someone sees it and they log in and create an account, it's going to automatically add that person to your command. New site registration, right? So there it is. I can click on it. It's going to take me straight to that contact that it's added. Okay. And then I can go through and add any additional information that I need to add, right? So it's currently marked as a lead. So it's also going to show up as a new lead on my command app and my home screen and command. And I got the little notification. My phone would have also dinged, but I have my phone on do not disturb. So you would have gotten that notification this way. Okay. So now, since this person's in here and they're logged in, when they start looking around at property and saying, okay, I like, let me find this house. They're like, okay, I want to look at this house. And I recommend that you guys set yourself up an account or do it for like your dog, the way I do it for Dakota and Sasha, so that you can see and test out this interaction. Okay. So if they're like, cool, I like it, you know, because if someone asks you a question, you want to make sure that you're able to answer the question. They can come down here and like it. They could leave a note on it and then click save. And now it's in their favorites. They could ask you a question about it. They can also ask to see it. Okay. So they can say, okay, I want to look at it today in the afternoon or the evening, or I want to look at it tomorrow in morning, afternoon, or evening. And I can either ask for a video tour or an in-person tour. I can leave a message as the consumer, and then I can click schedule. Okay. So now that they've done that, let's go back to the command contact. And hopefully it wants to cooperate with me today and the internet's not going to be terrible. Now, okay. So now we can see everything that they were doing. They viewed the listing. They actually requested an in-person tour. So I can view the request and I can say, okay, they want to look today in the afternoon or evening, or tomorrow in the morning, afternoon, or evening. and I can get that scheduled through showing time and get over there and show them that property, right? So be aware of what people can do on your website because you want to be paying attention. I always recommend that you come into command at least 3 times a day, morning, midday, later in the day, right? Check and make, whether it's on your app or on your desktop, checking to make sure whether you got any notifications, any requests for anything. It's made it a lot easier now that we have the app to have on the go. But you can see what it does and how it tracks their activity. Does anybody have any questions on this? You guys are awfully quiet. Good. Okay. So when we on Monday, we were looking at adding contacts and we showed that we could set up saved searches for folks. So I'm going to set up a saved search. I see that he likes kind of this area. So I could look by zip code. I could do the custom thing where we draw on the map and I could enter a location. I'm just going to enter my house because maybe they're looking near me. So I have a pinpoint there. And I can scroll out a little bit and I can say, okay, they obviously like this area, right? I can get super specific or I can go a little bit further out and then I can enter any criteria that they have and click next. Give it a save search title. And I can choose to turn on those email notifications and they can get those instant, daily, whichever, monthly, create, save, search. Okay. So I can do that. Now, from the consumer's perspective, they're going to get an email that says that you set them up that save search. And also when they're logged in to your website or the app, they have this thing called the feed. And it's going to show them a list of save searches that we created. See, this was created by me. They can also create their own save searches. So if they're on here looking and they're like, okay, I like this area and I want to draw on this map and I want to live here. Okay. That just gave them some boundaries and they can say, okay, I want to look from 400 to 500. And now I can save this search as the consumer, right? So this is kind of the Sherwood, Buena Vista area. And they can choose to get email notifications on it if they want or not. If they don't want to get email notifications, then in their feed, they have the search that you set up and the search that they set up for themselves. Okay. Questions on that? Good. All right, good deal. So that is what that looks like. Make sure that you go to your own website if you're going to be sharing it and explore it a little bit. I'm going to attempt now to share my screen from my cell phone. Have grace with me and we'll hope this works. Sometimes I'm taking up too much internet bandwidth with everything I'm doing. We're going to see. All right. Looks like it's going to cooperate. Okay. So the white background with the red KW is the home search app. I recommend that you download it to your phone. And again, that you have created yourself an account or created an account for your friend, your mother, your cousin, your brother, your wife, your husband, whoever, or like my teenagers, which I've done also. But so you can get in there and explore the app from the consumer's perspective. Okay. So it looks very similar to the online. It's branded to you as the agent. You want to make sure that they're logged in, right? They can click the contact you button. They could call you from in the app. They can see their feed. They can look in those collections that we started talking about. They can search for properties. They can view different map views, right? Get this thing out of my way. and they can search for different landmarks. They can search for schools. They could search for the ballpark, right? So if they want to live near the ballpark, then they can search near the ballpark. And they can start scrolling around on the map and looking at homes that are nearby, right? And favoriting them. I think we call this. Okay, so we're going to log in as the person that just created this account. There they are. And so now they can start looking at this. They can do the same stuff, schedule video tours, ask agents, get on here and look at Keller Williams mortgage. They can see those neighborhood things that we looked at on the website earlier. They can search for those commute times that we looked at earlier. They can look at upcoming open houses. They've got a payment calculator, right? So what purchase price are they looking for? How much down payment are they going to do? They've got that calculator there, and they can see nearby homes. Okay. So the app looks very similar to our website, just truncated in size, but I did want to make sure that I touched on that with you guys and showed you what it looked like. Do I have any questions on this? Good. While we're in the phone, we're going to pop into the command app so you can see what those notifications would look like to you as well. Ugh. All right. My app is going to look different than y'all's, but I want to be able to show you the interactions. So just disregard what mine looks like. It's going to look a little bit different than yours. Not super different, but a little bit different. But anyway, you can see who was recently active. That means on your website. They are logged in looking at things on your website. Leads never contacted, right? You can see all this stuff from the home screen. You can see your task and all that kind of stuff. Here's that tour quest. I actually don't know if you guys have that one yet. So if you don't, I'm sorry, disregard it. But that's what it looks like from that perspective. And you have your little bell icon that shows you all the same notifications that the desktop will show you. Okay. So questions on that? Good. Everybody's cool. Not got any questions. Is anybody still with me? I know that you're logged into the Zoom, but are you there? Anthony's here. Okay. All right. Just checking. Hadn't heard anything from anybody for a while. All right. Cool deal. So get on your website, get on your mobile app if you're going to be using them, interact with them, see what it looks like. I literally just took my kid's last name and one of their friends' first names and put them together and created a fake person. Now, that's because I've used all like 10 of my emails that I have and logged people in already. So I had to use somebody different. But nonetheless, that is what that looks like. And I'm going to go into Dakota's email real quick so that I can show you guys what some of these emails look like. And then we're going to do some stuff to get prepared for tomorrow. For my favorite day of the week. Just bear with me, y'all. Get this email pulled up. Okay. So this is Dakota's email, right? He's got lots of saved searches showing up here. So he gets emails. He requested to be notified instantly when something happens. So when new properties come up, when price and status changes happen, he gets to see that, and he gets to see that they are reduced by what amount they're reduced by. They can view their saved search. I need to log in as Dakota so that you guys can see. Obviously, most people wouldn't be logging in and out of 10 different accounts on one computer. So just disregard when I'm doing that. Just like to show you guys different things. All right. So Dakota has lots of different stuff. So when he views Save Search and he's logged into my website, it's going to take him straight into what he drew, what parameters he had set up, and what's happening within those areas, like so. Okay. And when I set up a Save Search for him, the original email, hold on one sec. There. So when you originally set up a Save Search for somebody and turn on those email notifications, it says, "Hi client, great news. I created the Save Search for you, Louisville area. I'd love to hear what you think about these homes. As always, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions." And they can click view Save Search, and it's going to take them to your website, and they're going to be able to see the Save Search that you set up for them. So I just wanted to make sure I showed you guys what that email looks like when they get it. Cool deal. Questions, comments, concerns, anything like that? We're all good. All right, so let me double check that we covered everything I intended to cover today, except for the stuff to prepare for tomorrow. Oh my goodness, this thing's being slow. Okay, here we go. So we looked at our settings and where to go to find your URLs. We looked at adding pages, editing your consumer guides, exploring everything from the consumer's perspective. Make sure that you do that. We looked at creating landing pages. We looked at your consumer app. We looked at setting up Save Searches for our contacts and how it interacts. Okay, so we did everything that I intended. Fantastic. So now let's prepare for tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be looking at designs and campaigns. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. Just remember, focus on what you have to do first, right? Which is get your contacts in and start talking to them. Nothing matters as much as getting your contacts into a system and talking to them. Nothing matters as much. Okay, period, bottom line. That is your number one focus. This stuff, you will learn it as you grow. I had to learn it too, right? Market Center Tech Trainers didn't even exist, right? We kind of created this role for ourselves, and now it's an actual role in KW. So I just had to teach myself how to do all this stuff as it came out, and then I turned it into a job. Okay, so you will get as comfortable with all of this stuff as I am if you want to use it, right? Through use. That's why I always say I compare command to your phone. Who sat down and taught you how to use your cell phone? Probably not anybody, right? You just picked it up and started clicking stuff. And then who sat down and taught you how to use Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or any other app that's on your phone? You did, right? You got in there and you used it. You might have fumbled through it at first, right? You might have looked up a YouTube video to learn how to do something. And now it's just second nature to you, right? So just remember that. Don't let it overwhelm you. Start with what you have to start with, okay? Start with what you have to start with, and you will get comfortable with it. It's the same thing with real estate in general, right? When we all get started in real estate, we don't know what's going on. None of us did. You learn through experience and use. Experience and use. I get it though. Just remember, I'm here for you. Always text me if you have a question, right? Just text me. Because if I'm teaching, I can't answer you right at that second, but I will always reach back out to you. I promise. Look at my testimonials. They all say responsive. She cares. I really do, right? I wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for you guys. So I am here for you. That is my whole purpose for having this position, is to help you. So reach out to me if you need something. Tell your friends to reach out to me. If you see somebody struggling with something, say stop, text Monica, and ask her for help, right? So just remember that. Okay, so tomorrow when we're going to be looking at Facebook posts, which are free, and if it's free, it's for me, right? And when we're looking at paid Facebook ads, one of the best resources for coming up with content for that is our website, okay? Because we're trying to stop the scroll. That's always our intention when we're posting things on social media, is to get people to stop scrolling, all right? I'm going to show you some examples of that tomorrow, okay? And I'm working on your resources guide for that. I don't have one for day 2 tomorrow or day 4, because we're covering a lot, but I'm working on that this afternoon, and I'll make sure I have it ready for you by the morning. But one of the coolest things that we can do with this is use our website. Okay, so we're going to look at designs and how we can make a really pretty design. I'm going to show you one example. I taught this on Tech Tuesday a couple of weeks ago for Carolina Educational Services. Again, if you're in Winston-Salem and Chapel Hill, you guys have a subscription to that. My brain is fogging. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Okay. Let me get into my designs real quick. So super simple design. I just used the stock images that were in designs. Let me find it. There it is. I love it. My dog sits on my diving board like this, and so I thought this picture was super cute and funny. Y'all, it's hot. It's going to be super hot today, right? What better way to get somebody to stop scrolling than a picture of a cute dog hovering over a pool, right? All we're trying to do is get them to talk to us, right? So live cool in the pool. Here are Winston-Salem homes with pools, right? We made the pretty little image. We saved it as a picture. We're going to put it on our Facebook business page, okay? And then we're going to go to our own website here, and we're going to look for whatever area it is that we were talking about. Mine just happens to be Winston-Salem. No shade to the other areas. It's just my hometown, okay? So check this out. I just searched for Winston-Salem. It's going to pinpoint it. It's the heart of the city. There's all the listings that are in Winston-Salem. Okay. Now I have all these filters over here, and these are the same filters that our consumers get to use, right? And I'm going to click on more. I'm going to say I want it to have a pool. So now I'm looking at Winston-Salem homes with pools. Okay, Winston-Salem homes with pools is all I'm looking at right now. Right now, some of them could be a neighborhood pool. This condo more than likely is a neighborhood pool. This massive condo is probably a neighborhood pool. Okay, but some of them are going to be houses that actually have their own pool. Nonetheless, they are homes that have a pool, like this one's right down the street from me, right? So now that I've done that search for my area, okay, Winston-Salem homes with pools, I'm going to take this link, copy it, okay, and I'm going to paste it on Facebook with this cute little picture. Here's a list of Winston-Salem homes with pools. Click here to learn more. It's going to take them to my website. It's going to take them to this list of homes that has pools or some affiliation to a pool in this area. And you can do that with all kinds of stuff, right? So what if I look at, give everybody a little love, Greensboro, North Carolina. Okay. And I still have that pool filter on right now. I'm going to turn that off. What if I just want to look at open houses? Okay. So now these are Greensboro homes that have open houses coming up. That's your post. Check out what's having an open house in Greensboro this weekend. You're going to paste this link with a picture that you made in designs. It gets people to stop and click and talk to you. Chapel Hill, what if, ooh, I don't think we need all that open. Excuse my computer. I think sometimes I overwhelm it. Chapel Hill. Y'all know how painful it is. I love y'all, Chapel Hill. I promise I do. But I'm a huge Duke fan. So every time that I have to type Chapel Hill, it hurts my heart a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go to more. I'm going to take off the open houses. And I know that in Chapel Hill, through the eyes of KW, to be considered luxury, it has to cost at least $800,000. So I'm going to change my minimum price to $800,000 with no maximum and click done. Okay, it's going to adjust my search. So now this link is luxury homes in Chapel Hill. That's my post. Luxury homes in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I could take it one step further. I can go to this more button and go to the bottom and say price reduced in the past 7 days. It's going to narrow that down even more. And now I can say these are luxury homes in Chapel Hill that have been reduced in the last 7 days. Right? And when I post it and they get to look at it, they get to see how much it went down. 30,000, 60,000, 55, 100,000, right? They can see the amount of the price reduction. And I usually say that, especially if I'm using it for a Facebook ad, which we'll look at tomorrow. I use that in my terms. I say, you know, check out these recently reduced homes in X area. And then the next little field, it says, see the amount of reduction, right? So that's your ad or your free social media post right there. Okay, so we can use these websites in a lot of different ways. Familiarize yourself with them if it's going to be the website that you're using, right? I like it because it's free. I used to have to pay for a website when I was at my old firm, and I didn't even like the website, and I had to pay for it. So, you know, I think that they are fine websites. Are they the best website ever? No, right? And I'm not paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for it either. Okay, and it's going to continue to get improved, and it's connected to command. Okay, so do we have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys want to see that I didn't show you today? Good. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to give you back 7 minutes of your life, except for Anthony is going to hang back with me so I can take a look at his screen. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. If you're watching us on YouTube, I will paste today's resources down in the description box of the YouTube video. You guys have a great day.